So whenever we used to talk about independent variable, dependent variable, so there is one factor which is known as confounding variables. Independent variable, dependent variable. So there is one another confounding variable. So we need to understand what is the confounding variable. So confounding variables are variables that can influence the dependent variable in a research study and may lead to incorrect conclusions if not properly controlled for. So here are a few examples of confounding variables in different research scenario. We will try to understand what is confounding variable. Like for example, smoking and lung cancer. In a study, examine the relationship between smoking and lung cancer. Age could be a confounding variable. Older individuals are more likely to both smoke and develop lung cancer. So if age is not controlled for, it might appear that smoking causes lung cancer when it's the age that is actually confounding the relationship. In another example, like stress and job performance, if you are studying the impact of stress on job performance, job satisfaction could be a confounding variable. Employees who are more satisfied with their job may be less stressed and also perform better. So, without considering job satisfaction, you might earnestly conclude that stress negatively affects job performance. Some another example like education and income in a study examining the relationship between education, labor, and income. So parental income could be a confounding variable. If participants come from families with high incomes, they may have access to better educational opportunities, which can impact their income potential. Failing to control for parental income might lead to an overestimation of the effect of education on income. Some another example like diet and weight loss. So in this example, if we see in a weight loss study, physical activity levels could be a confounding variable. Participants who are more physically active might lose more weight, and if this variable is not controlled, you might attribute the weight loss to the diet, and it's the activity level that is influencing the outcome. Now we have one more examples like medication efficacy and placebo effect. When testing the effectiveness of a new medication, the placebo effect can be a confounding variable. Some participants may experience improvements simply because they believe they are receiving the medication, even if it's placebo. This can make it challenging to determine the true effectiveness of the drug. And few more examples like gender and pay disparities. In a study investigating disparities between genders, the type of industry could be a confounding variable. If more men work in higher paying industries and the study doesn't account for this, it might wrongly conclude that the pay gap is solely due to gender discrimination. So, like alcohol consumption and heart health, when studying the relationship between alcohol consumption and heart health, exercise habits can be a confounding variable. People who drink moderately might also be more likely to engage in regular exercise, and without considering exercise, you might attribute the health benefits to alcohol alone. So, to minimize the impact of confounding variables, researchers often use methods like randomization, matching, or statistical techniques such as regression analysis to control for them and isolate the true relationship between the independent and dependent variables.